Alright, so here is the first video that we're gonna watch here. Child safety MP caught with images of kids. Like, okay, so for some context, for those that don't know, recently within the past month or two, there's been this controversial bill, I think, or something like that in the UK called the Child Safety Act, which is just code name for let's monitor everyone on the internet. And I know that YouTube was doing some similar things with regards to the age verification stuff, which, thankfully, I haven't had to verify my age yet. So, I guess that's a win for me. So, but I know that there are other people that have to deal with that kind of stuff. So, I know that plenty of people have been making videos about it. There's a YouTuber named Chibi Reviews who's been covering that since day one. And then there's also another VTuber named Rev Says Des, who I'm sure at least some people have heard. But I actually do want to see what this is about because, oh Lord, have the tides have turned. No, it's all fun and games when it comes to protecting the kids, only to find out that the kids are your own victims. No, I know exactly what I'm gonna clip this into its own standalone video. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube, and it's gonna be titled. Well, I don't know what it's going to be titled, but the thumbnail is going to be CP stands for Child Protection. And it's going to feature the guy that claims that it's for the children, but they decided, lol, nope, we're going to hurt the kids instead because these people are freaking freaks, right? No, the government is run by freaks. And it's no secret, honestly. It's no secret to anyone with even a functioning brain, right? People talk about, oh, like brain rot. No, this is brain rot to the extreme if we're being real about this. So, if you're watching this on YouTube as a standalone video, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more exposés on high-profile government officials. And let's actually get started, but I want to make sure that everything is working and feel whoever's in the chat. I see I got like 2 people right now, at least according to the kick stats. Feel free to chime in if you want to speak on whatever's going on here.
So the online safety...
Hold on. Oh, I know what's wrong. Sorry,
So the Online Safety Act is there to protect children, to make sure children are always safe online. To make sure children...
No shit. When it comes to protecting the children, it's just an excuse to either censor people or monitor people. You know, people bring up 1984, I think, right? And it's basically what's been going on for a while now. Like, I've noticed it for like a long time now. I've noticed all of this stuff like slowly but surely happening, and I've noticed for a long time now, and it's honestly no surprise that it's even gotten this far.
never put themselves in a scenario where they can be preyed upon by the creeps of society. Labour MP charged over child sex abuse images.
And apparently that's one of the guys that spearheaded the Online Safety Act or something like that. Irony at its best, right? That's the living embodiment of irony.
And there's actually more to this, but I can't say it at the very start of the video because it would immediately get flagged and demonetized and age restricted.
Don't worry.
We're about to go into all the details. I say this is wild, but it's just, at this point, it's just the British government. So there's actually...
It's the British government. They're so British, right? They're so British that they bought a daughter's bottle of waters, right? And people like to make British jokes at British people's expense. I don't know if they make jokes about themselves, but... you know.
A couple of MPs we want to talk about in this video, but firstly we're going to kick things off with Colin Smith. Now Colin Smith was actually arrested and charged with hiding secret cameras in the Holyrood toilets. And Holyrood...
oh my god, I don't even... that actually reminded me of Jared from Subway hiding cameras in children's bedrooms. Yeah, that's a real thing that Jared did, which I'm like, really? So you can understand exactly what's going on here. So
Is essentially like the Houses of Parliament in Scotland. So yes, he was charged with actually putting cameras.
Oh, this also reminds me of this one Republican lawmaker in the US who was supposed to be like very anti-gay, yet he's been caught luring in guys in bathrooms using some coded language that gay people allegedly use in order to get with other guys. I've never done this because I actually believe in self-control, but but you'd be surprised by the amount of projection that people have. Like, people throw around terms like projection when it comes to these kinds of things, yet they tend to be the ones that are for, you know what I mean. No, not like that. I don't know what happened there.
Cameras in the toilets to prey on adults.
Mm-hmm.
We will get to the more interesting stuff in a minute. Now, what's very interesting about Colin Smith, he's actually one of the people that has been behind and responsible for some of the child safety relation laws that we have. And don't worry, we will get to the Online Safety Act in a minute. It's coming. But
it better be coming.
As an MP, he's taken a stance and a step forward to make sure that children are protected, not just online, but in person, and they're never, ever, ever exploited in any way. Now, shortly after the charges about hiding cameras in toilets, which, by the way, he's an independent MP, but he's still allowed to be a serving MP.
Oh, so no, you have all the Epstein stuff, right? That was all a big deal. Apparently no one's talking about it anymore, which is not great. I think we should be talking more about that stuff. Yet you have people in these positions of power that are still doing all this bullshit behind the scenes, and people are only just now noticing. Now, personally, I've noticed all this stuff for like a long time, but when it comes to all of this, they claim to be, oh, we're for the people, wanting to protect the children, but really they're just either trying to protect themselves or they're trying to control everyone. Simple as that.
Yes, the government allows this. The government is still allowing him to have a say in Parliament. But after all of this, just shortly after, he invited some Girl Scouts to come to his office.
Oh my god. Okay, so now the Girl Scouts are involved. Hosted guides at Parliament after... Oh my god. It just gets weirder. This is crazy. No, the fact that these people are just there, serving in government offices is like absurd to me.
This. Totally not suspicious. Totally not suspicious.
Yeah, that's definitely not sussy-wussy baka, bitch.
Scottish Labour MSP Colin Smith has been arrested and charged in connection with the possession of indecent images. The 52-year-old politician, who has represented the South Scotland constituency for a decade, was taken into custody at a Dumfries property earlier this month, and a police investigation has been launched.
It's not enough that he's 52. He had to invite a whole bunch of Girl Scouts. And it's like, shit. Good lord, all of these people. No, this is what I mean when I say self-control. These people have none of that. Well, they have the appearance of having self-control, but at the end of the day, it's like, it only works when it's up to me. It's only convenient when it's convenient for me. I don't know. I knew what I meant to say, but I don't know if what I just said made any sense.
Scottish Labour Party suspended Smith after he was charged with a politician now an independent MSP. On Tuesday, August the 5th, 2025, officers executed a warrant at a property on Marchfield Avenue, Dumfries. A 52-year-old man was arrested and charged in connection with possession of indecent images. He's due to appear at Dumfries Sheriff Court at a later date. And what I find absolutely, well, no, I keep saying interesting, it's what we expect. The government and all the official publications have said that he had indecent images, but it actually turns out there are indecent images of children as well.
Yeah, I figured that was the case, right? Yeah, nothing inconspicuous happening here. Just a 52-year-old man with a bunch of Girl Scouts.
Oh, but none of the official government records state this anywhere at all. However, the official police report does, and of course, a lot of the media around it is also talking about it. But the official government documents never mention about indecent images of children. However, that is officially what's linked to the charge. And even in the official documents...
So they don't even know whether or not any of this actually happened. I've made a point that a lot of people within these types of scenarios tend to be... welcome to Furry Dad. Hi. Put on your music, Tennessee Reaper. Oh, I might have to get back to you on that. I can get back to you on that if you give me one moment. I kind of want to get through this video first, but no shade towards you. Thank you for posting in the chat, but what the heck was I even saying?
On the Scottish government website.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention, yeah, how people within these types of positions tend to be wishy-washy about how they like report the news. Like you'll have people on one side, you have people on one side talking like, oh, we support all this and that, yet they end up doing things that are like outside of the scope of that kind of thing, and it's like, okay, keep telling yourself that. I don't even know when. Thank you for your understanding, Furry Dad. But either way, welcome to the stream. We'll see about this Tennessee Reaper in a moment.
When they have linked charges or arrests or anything, there's nothing next to his name. They just haven't filled it in. Now, this Colin Smith guy is just the very tip of the iceberg, a very big iceberg. The next one's, I'd say, well, it is worse. It's definitely worse. But I just want to say this video is definitely going to get demonetized. It's so difficult to talk about topics like this on YouTube, but I have made a pledge to myself to not avoid talking about topics because of the algorithm or anything like that. So if you do want to support,
yeah, that's something that I would like to do. There are a lot of topics that I want to talk about on my channel that I'm sure there are quite a few videos on my YouTube channel that don't really have a lot of views, presumably. Furry Daddy, but it wouldn't allow me. Was the name already taken, or no big deal? I had to, but regardless, there are a lot of topics that I want to talk about that I have been talking about. Unfortunately, they haven't been getting a lot of views, which implies that YouTube doesn't want to recommend them. Like, I understand why. I'm sorry to hear that, Furry Daddy. I'll call you. There's no. Okay. I'll get back to you in a moment, but I kind of want to finish this real quick.
The channel, make sure you go and check out private internet access at the link below. They're a VPN that allows you to remain private online. They don't keep any logs at all, and that has actually been proven on multiple occasions.
Okay.
And it's just one subscription that works for free. It's like they inform you guys. One of the more juicy story. I mean, to be honest, all of this is. I'm trying to make light-hearted jokes about this stuff, but it is dark and twisted.
Right, I can imagine why, because I know Legal Mindset had made some videos about the whole Roblox scenario. There's Roblox situation, rather, where there were these, like, I already forgot the guy's name. There was a guy who would do YouTube shorts. I can imagine that. Uh-oh, sorry. I got a low battery message on my phone. I probably could do I have done some YouTube shorts, but they were kind of hit or miss. I might have to experiment with them. But yeah, don't worry. I have ways of working around them. Yeah, ignore that message. I had to connect my phone because I don't want it to die.
MP Dan Norris arrested on suspicion of child sex offences and the word I can't say on YouTube. MP Dan Norris has been arrested on suspicion of that word and child sex offences.
Interesting that we're allowed to say sex on YouTube, but when it comes to the R word, for some reason, that's where they draw the line. I mean, I understand why. There are a lot of words on YouTube where they kind of just don't want you to say. You do. No, the more you do, the more I do, the better they get. I can imagine. I tried to do, like, I did make some little shorts about some furry related things, but my first one got like 1,000 views, and then I got another with another 600, and then I made a third that got 200, and one more that only got 10. So it might be my choice of words. I'm not sure. I might have to try again. I have like scripts for the shorts, but I'll keep trying. Yeah, I know I shouldn't give up on that, but, you know, I have a busy schedule.
Abduction and misconduct in a public office. The Labour Party says it immediately suspended the MP for the North East of Somerset and Hanum after being made aware of his arrest. Avon and Somerset police confirmed that the man in his 60s was arrested on Friday and released on conditional bail. Now, the investigation into him is still ongoing, so we're not going to say whether he's guilty or not, but I will say that there is definitely no smoke without fire. Also worth noting that whilst all of this was going on, he was still allowed to hold his seat in Parliament, not as part of a Labour or whatever, like he was an independent MP, but he was still allowed to hold his seat in Parliament. So one of the things that he decided to...
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of like when Bill Clinton sleeping with oh, that's how you got known on YouTube. I guess I can make some shorts if I have to. I know there's some websites that can do it very easily. I might have to look around for stuff, but for now, I just want to try to get like basic, like I want to clip this reaction, but I might have to cut certain parts out so it doesn't take too long.
To vote for was the Online Safety Act for the protection of children. Really? You let this guy vote? So right. I say that at least his vote we can strike off because he's doing that to save face. But the thing is, these are the MPs that have been caught. In fact, even some of the ones that we know have done nefarious things in relation to children. I'm sure that people within government know about it, but no one's doing anything. Even the case of Colin Smith, the first guy that we spoke about, the government are just kind of dancing around what he really did. They're just saying indecent images. They're not...
Yeah, it's like people will try to skirt responsibility on themselves by just saying, how can you focus on something like this when there's that happening on the other side of the world? And it's like, stop changing the subject. You know what you done did.
Mentioning that it was of children. They're trying to like move children away from it because of his various politics and stances with like online safety.
No shit. No, literally. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to start making videos on certain Twitch streamers that, oh my God. No, that have these particular political views, and because of their views, they have a massive following, but they're so radical in said views that it's a major turnoff for a lot of people. But of course, they're never going to acknowledge that. They're just gonna call you every insult for the other side that they could think of, and that's probably what they're doing here. And it's like, oh, anyone who is against the Child Safety Act is a child lover, and it's like, you guys are the child lovers. You are in no position to say who we are.
Children and all the various initiatives he's involved with protecting children. I understand if you've got hundreds of people in Parliament, you know, into the thousands if you include everyone. I understand there's going to be some bad apples in there. Of course there's going to be.
Yeah, there's bad people in like every group. Like if you, all around the world, you have good people of different groups, like different ethnicities and ideologies, and then you have the bad people that make everyone else look bad. It's like, if any of you know about black fatigue, right? So it's like, yeah, you know, we know that not all black people are like hoodlums and street rats. There are lots of black people that are no different from most other people that just want to live their lives in peace, want to be able to, you know, get a job, maybe raise a family and all that stuff. Yet you have others that are doing gangsta shit, and it's just not a good time for everyone.
There's a running theme here, and the stuff that keeps coming out with MPs doing absolutely despicable things, whilst they are actually responsible and linked to acts and policies, which are for the very things that they're saying that they're taking a stance against, but they're the things that they are doing themselves. This is why having members of parliament doesn't work. I think every law that comes into effect in the UK shouldn't be voted in by MPs from various constituencies. There should be an online website, a portal where everyone can log in at their own leisure.
This is actually something that I've thought of as well. Like here in the US, we don't have parliament, we have Congress, which is more or less the same thing. It works differently though. I don't know how the British parliament works. I know more about how US Congress does, but I've always imagined, like, the way that it works in the US is that someone somewhere in the country will propose a bill to whatever senator or representative they have in Congress, and then they come up with a bill, and then that bill is put to a vote, which the people obviously have very little say in whether or not that bill actually goes through, or whether or not it, yeah. And then it gets passed on to the president, who can sign it into law if they so choose. Oftentimes, the president doesn't sign. If the president doesn't do anything with the bill, it usually automatically becomes law. At least I think that's how it works. I don't actually remember how it works. And then the Supreme Court decides whether or not the law is constitutional. But yeah, I can imagine that the American people having a say in laws that go through like the government and stuff. But the logistics of that would probably be very difficult to achieve.
And they can vote for upcoming legislation and law. And that's the way that it should be run, because we have the internet now. The internet absolutely skyrocketed.
Right, yeah, using the internet. Then we would be able to bring more direct democracy. Like, the biggest difference between, like, how they did it in ancient Greece was that it was, well, technically, we don't have a say. Oh, where are you from? Just curious. Because I know it could have... But... with the internet, like within ancient Greece, like they had direct democracy, even if it technically only applied to adult male citizens who were born in Athens, or at least are citizens of Athens. But in the modern democracies, which are representative, it's the representatives that make all the U.S. I can imagine. Yep. Yeah, it's like, it happens. It's not perfect. No country is perfect, but... if we had a system like this, I'm not exactly sure how it worked. I'm sure like older generations who aren't very techno savvy might have trouble with something like this, but where I live, I don't really know any of my the representatives, so I can't really speak on that behalf.
Rocketed about 20 years ago, we have the facilities, resources, and means to actually...
Oh, you're part of the government. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. No disrespect to you, but... no, I mean that. I don't know what I was going with that. I'm like, if you are part of the government, then maybe you can provide some more context to what's going on here.
Voting policies as the British public. We don't need MPs and the bias of MPs to do this. And what's more interesting about this as well, if you look at proportionally the amount of MPs that have been arrested for either indecent images or other things that, if you look at the amount of MPs as a percentage of all of the MPs in the government, that is a much higher percentage than the general public that are arrested for having indecent images as well.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, all these higher ups, right? It's all Epstein. No, the freaking British Epstein. If we're gonna go that far with it.
What I'm saying is proportionally, there's more nonsense in Parliament than there is in the general public.
Right.
Like, that's very worrying.
There's more nonsense in many governments around the world than in the general public. No, the government will sometimes stand for something, but the people don't necessarily want. But it kind of depends. Oh, MPs in the U.S. It's okay. I see. All right. Well, at least we have a government official in the at least we have a government official in the chat that can give us some context, so I can appreciate you. I appreciate you. Just so you were aware, I thank you for what you can do for whatever it is that you do.
Like I said earlier in the video, I do think
it's one of those do what you can kind of things.
Video is going to get demonetized and struck down, but topics like this, they do need to be talked about, and I'm not going to go to other platforms like Rumble or anything like that because the reach is just not there. Like, the reach on those platforms is so minimal because the biggest media search engine in the world is YouTube. Right. And I think I do have at least, to be honest, I don't care about the views or anything, I have a moral and social responsibility to talk about stuff like this. If, you know, in the past month, this channel's gone from nothing to like 50,000 subscribers. I feel like I have that audience now and I need to report on this stuff, but it's really tricky to report on this sort of stuff. So
don't worry, I'm going to help spread the word. Like, if I do decide to make this reaction into a standalone video, I'll definitely link this guy in the description. I always try to link all the things I react to in their respective descriptions. I can't speak today. But yeah, make sure you go check them out.
So, making this video has made me really angry.
I might next to the power of the president. I'm sure you could do quite a bit. I don't doubt what you are capable of. I know. Don't worry. I'm sure you can. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those, one of the, either the 9th or the 10th Amendment that allows states to make their own laws independent of the federal government. But I've mentioned that in a video that I've uploaded to my channel, but you know.
Because as I'm reading into the stuff and doing research into various MPs that have done stuff, like, there's so many, and I know this is probably like a really naive perspective from me, from someone that has like a kind of politically orientated channel, but as much as I clown on the government and I hate on the government, I do want our country to be better. Right. I want our country to...
I'm sure most people want their countries to do better, and that's one of the reasons why people move to the US, right? Because they want a better life. But there are some people that don't necessarily want a better life. They just want to bring their old life to the new country so that they can turn it to shit. Which, I don't mean to get like that political, but I do have like feelings on things like immigration. It's like, if you want to immigrate to the country and you want to do something meaningful, then go for it. But if you're gonna come to the country just to fuck shit up, then I think it's in your best interest to leave.
Not have things like the Online Safety Act. I want our country to actually be the best country in the world. I want to have that sense of national pride from our government that are acting on behalf of us as people. I want to wake up in the morning and take the American approach where you swear allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I want to do that to the Union Jack, but I can't be proud of our country when the people that are running it are doing stuff like this. It's not just harmful from a reputational point of view or anything like that. It's just disgusting.
It's like people have been noticing a lot of no, the UK has been going through a lot within these past few months with their migrant crisis, the quote-unquote rape gangs. Well, I shouldn't say quote-unquote. What happens? We don't kill them, we make them homeless. I can imagine. It's like... And then we have these little luxury hotels for, like, illegal immigrants, and it's like, why do they need these hotels? And it's like, you would think that they would want to actually use... You would think that they would at least want to help people that are, like, actually... Like in New York, we have homeless people. Yeah, same thing. Pretty much. It's like, we're not doing any... Like, all these homeless people out in Los Angeles and New York, you have all of them out there on the streets, yet you have illegal immigrants in luxury hotels. And I can speak on this. I am half Mexican, so I don't want anyone to accuse me of being racist or, God forbid, on Uncle Tom. No, I ain't gonna let nobody call me no Uncle Tom, bitch. No. Fuck that shit.
Despicable behavior, no matter whether you're an MP or not. And it's just adding insult to injury when these same people are like the champions of safety for children, and it just takes away from the actual things we should be focusing on when trying to protect children. Like, there is many things as a country, as a society, as a government we can do to make sure children are safe while using the internet. None of them are dystopian. But
actually, I was born here. I'm half Mexican. My mom is like 3 generations removed. Both of my parents were born in Texas, and she's like mostly American. Or she was born in Texas and she's mostly Mexican.
They decided to employ was dystopian. But there's many different ways that we can actually go about protecting children, and all of this Online Safety Act and the various MPs involved getting arrested for diddling, like, it takes away from the actual conversations and discussions that we should be having as the British population about what we do to make the internet just a bit safer for kids. There's many things that we can do, but meanwhile we've got nonces bringing in laws that are negative to the safety of children,
right?
And it's
yeah, the Online Safety Act is just a form of control, right? Wanting to have like facial recognition, wanting you to put in all your like license or whatever, trying to make you give up your identity so they can control you. Now, lots of people have been making videos about that, like a YouTuber named Chibi Reviews that I mentioned earlier. If I was not born in the US, then I would probably die. I don't know. I mean, there are plenty of immigrants here in the country that do have, like, successful careers and stuff. There's a YouTuber named Metatron who is an immigrant from Italy, and he's a YouTuber that I watch all the time. And he talks about a lot of stuff that I've always been very interested in, like medieval and ancient history.
It's not good, is it? It really isn't good. Well, thank you for watching today's video.
Well then, I spent more time talking with Furry Dad here than actually reacting to the video, but I guess that's a good thing. At least I'm being transformative. Well then. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and this video was streamed live on both YouTube and Kick. Be sure to check out the VODs for unedited footage as well. Take care.